Hey everyone, it's Paul Dysinger, founder of Born to Grow Online Gardening University, and today I'm going to be exposing a lie about hot weather watering. And this is kind of an answer as well to a question that came in on Facebook by Jan Haveman, where the question basically was, do you water your plants in the evening or in the early morning? And it's a great question. And so here's the lie. Here's the lie that we're going to address. And how many of you have heard of this? The statement that if you water your plants in the middle of the day when the sun is shining really hot on the leaves, somehow the sunlight will be refracted through the water droplets and end up burning your plants, or something like that, something along those lines. How many of you have heard that? The reality is it simply isn't true. If you water your plants in the middle of the day, it's not going to have that effect where you're going to end up burning the leaves of your plants. At least in all of my experience in working with Bountiful Blessings Farm, and in the many years experience that my Uncle John has had farming, that my dad has had farming, and our family has had gardening, we've been out there many times in the middle of the day setting up sprinklers, moving sprinklers around in the garden, watering our plants, and really we just haven't seen any bad effects from watering in the middle of the day when it's hot and the sun is shining. And let me tell you, we've had some pretty hot weather, in the high 90s, 100s. So I can say with pretty good confidence that you're not going to have that much problems watering in the middle of the day. Now there is something that you should consider though when watering. So pay close attention here, because there is something you should consider, especially if you need to conserve water, if you don't have a good water source. We've been blessed in my work with Bountiful Blessings Farm. On the farm there we have a huge spring that feeds a large pond that we can gravity feed water down to our garden, and so we really have no lack of water. It's been amazing to be in this situation. But I know there's a lot of places in this world that you just don't have that kind of water available to you, and so you need to be careful to conserve water. And so, first of all, something to note, especially if you're gardening in the summer, is that you may want to consider watering in the early morning or in the evening, even solely for the purpose of conserving as much water as you can that might be lost to evaporation, because it just is a fact that if you go out and water your plants in the middle of the day when the sun is hot and shining, you're going to have much more loss of water to evaporation than if you do it in the cool of the morning or in the evening. And I would actually suggest in the summer that perhaps watering in the evening would be the best, because then you have all of that night for the water to sit there and soak, and you won't have that evaporation where if you did water in the morning, you may still have a bit of evaporation as the day progresses and as you go into the heat of the day, as it were. Now, on the flip side, if you have a winter garden, if you have a garden that is going through the winter and you're wondering about when to water it in the winter, here's a case where you will want to water it early in the morning. And here's why. Because you want to provide the opportunity for your plants to dry out before the cold night comes. Cold, wet plants, going down near freezing temperatures, they don't like it. It's not comfortable for them. Just like us, if we're cold and we're wet and we're damp, we get all uncomfortable and we want to get warm and nice and cozy. Well, the plants are kind of the same way, and so if you water them early in the morning, it can provide that opportunity throughout the day for your plants to dry out, so that when the night comes, they're already dry and they can stay a little warmer. They don't have that wetness on them to keep them damp and cool. So that's just a little tip, especially in the summer and in the winter. And thanks for watching this video. I know that I'm not out in the middle of the garden. It's not the nicest setting here. You'd probably much rather see me digging with my hands in the dirt outside or something like that. And the reality is that the crickets are just so loud out there, you probably wouldn't be able to hear me very well, or it'd be way too distracting. So I just decided to shoot the video inside today. And please leave me a comment in the comment section below. Tell me a story about watering in your garden, experience that you had, or go over and like my Facebook page. I'd love to hear from you.